guys. So today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do a garden tour. Um, I know that most of you are here just for the woodworking videos, but I actually have a lot of other things that I'm very interested in doing, and gardening is one of those things. So I'm going to start showing some of those videos. I think I'll probably just do one video a month, maybe just kind of doing a tour and talking about kind of how things are going. So I have been for a few years doing a type of gardening that's called Landrace gardening. I just save all my own seeds. I hybridize my own seeds on purpose to create more resilient plants for my area. And so there's a lot that goes into that, and like I said, I could make a whole video on just that subject. But today I'm just going to go through and do a garden tour. It's still pretty early in the year, so there's not really a whole lot out here yet. Most stuff is just starting to sprout. So let's get out there. This big patch here where there's nothing growing, I just recently planted peanuts, so there's really nothing. None of them have come up yet, but they do grow here. I've been growing them for several years. They grow really well here. So that'll be something to, I'll get several pounds of peanuts out of this little patch. So that'll be something to look to in the future. But here is really the pride and joy of the garden, and this is potatoes. And most of these rows are from potatoes that I saved from last year. I just grow a ton of potatoes. I save a certain amount of them and then replant them the next year. Potatoes make so many calories. A lot of these fruits and things in a garden, they might be fun to grow and they may have a lot of flavor or whatever, but in terms of food stuff, they're not that valuable. Potatoes and peanuts also are very valuable because they have a ton of calories. All right, like I said, there's not really a whole lot in here because it's so early in the year. So it's gonna be hard to tell, and it's kind of a mess around the fence row, but there's tons of peas in here, sweet peas. If I can get it to focus. Tons of sweet peas in here. They haven't produced any peas yet. I plant them a little late. I plant them February 28th. But those peas, they go all the way around the entire garden. Like I said, it's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, there's a ton of peas in here. Over here, in this mess, is corn. It's still a little too short. It's just starting to come up, so I haven't cultivated this area yet, so that's why it looks kind of weedy. Once the corn gets big enough where I can see it clearly to be able to cultivate, I will, and this will start to look a whole lot nicer then. The next 3 rows are beans, and they're all doing really well, and it's just mixed beans. There's a whole bunch of different kinds in here, but I don't ever buy beans. I just replant my own beans that I grow every year. So these are all beans that I've grown myself last year and have been growing for many years now. But this whole section here is empty right now. I still have a lot of stuff to plant. In this area, nothing has come up yet, but there's watermelon and squash through here. And once it does come up, it'll really take over, and then this whole area will just be completely. I won't be able to walk through between these rows. There'll be so much stuff growing here. More peas, lots more peas all over the fence row. And these are called southern peas. They are, to me, they're more like beans than they are peas, but they're just a type of vining bean pea plant that grows really well here. And I have several different kinds planted. It's a mixed variety. To me, anyway, this is pretty interesting back here. And this looks, I'm sure this to you looks just like a complete mess of just weeds. But actually, this area because of all the trees around here, this area, and there's stumps even here in the garden. I don't know if you can see those places where there's big weeds. There's actually tree stumps here. But this area is too full of tree roots for me to really till it up very well. So I don't usually plant my normal garden crops back here. What I do is, as I'm planting, I almost always have some extra seeds. And what I end up doing with those extra seeds is I just toss them back here. And, you know, if something makes it, great. And if not, I don't really care. They're extra seeds anyway. So it's doing really well this year. It's kind of growing out of control, honestly. It doesn't usually look like this. Usually they don't do it nearly as well, but for whatever reason, you know, the gardening gods are smiling on me this year, and this stuff is doing really well. Now, mixed in here is corn, sorghum, squash, beans, sunflower seeds, onions. I mean, you name it. There's so much stuff just kind of mixed in here. My guess is that as this stuff grows, it will start to choke each other out, and most of this will probably end up dying. But what I will end up with is the absolute strongest stuff that there is. Stuff that can withstand, for one, just being hand broadcast on bare dirt, and then also is tough enough to survive, you know, out competing all of this mess of stuff back here. So those seeds will be seeds that I want to save to replant next year. So that's pretty much it for now. Like I said, there's not much out here yet. It's still early in the year. But thanks for watching, and if this is something you're interested in, I'll be posting again in about a month.